You don't mind if I smoke, do you? Put the hat backwards because business is over. I put the hat behind my head, business is over. Now, the reason I'm making this video is all about Smarties. And I'm going to go get two of them right now. Okay? I'm going to get two of them right now. And what happens in Smarties is that when you roll a ball down a hill, right? When you roll a ball down a hill, when it falls in here, look what happens. Look at my dice. Look what happened to the dice. So all the images you see that I marked, you see this dice? If you look next to the letter P, you'll see the same image. It's the outside of the dice. You see, because every house has a barrier on it. They have the inside, where it's the rooms of your house, because this whole system is based on carpentry, plumbing, electricity, the whole system. Whatever I'm going to talk about is only based on what's here on Earth. It has nothing to do with anything else. Just because we don't understand or can't accept that there's an element inside us, and it's our brain, but it's a P in the brain that does all the work. Just like you piss it out. That yellow energy gets pissed out because it's how hard your mind thinks. When I went to the bathroom tonight, it was almost green. It was almost like I'm bringing him to life. So we have the walls, and we're like three balls all actually turning around each other. You know, I mean, we're dice cubes, right? But we're balls at the same time, and we fall into different holes. But obviously, if you stick out two legs from your ball, because the golf ball, the divots that are on the golf ball, if it goes in, it goes out. It's because the golf ball divots actually come out the other way and become little pimples the other way. When you make a form around it, the other form's going to have pimples on it. And these pimples and dimples are what makes the holes of passage, the opening up of a passage, like when you put a loop around something. So what the Smarties are all about is when this falls into a hole, it's color-coded. When the disk universe passes over it, it knows what hole you're in. It sees the color, okay, the shades, which would be the shade of how you feel inside you and all these colors. And when it passes over, it adjusts, okay? But you don't have to know how to use any of these. All you got to know is that it exists. It exists, that there is a peace of mind somewhere else, and this world is not the end of the road. But what is the end of the road is what you're going to create with your road. Is not the greatest road, because it makes no difference. It's how you are and who you are. So the reason I really made this video is because when you eat, these fall in the hole. And then when they fall in the hole, right, I wish I can do something. Let me, hold on. Can I pin this up to the cigarette? Hold on a second. So that yellow energy passes through your brain more than anything else. So now you have to ask the question about penicillin. Now that you know that your Rain Man has to have that yellow energy, and you do go to the bathroom, and when you pee and it's strong, it tells you something, you know Rain Man runs on yellow. The reason we eat the Smarties, when you eat your Smarties, do you eat your Smarties fast? I don't know the whole song. So at the end of it, it says, do you eat the red ones last? Well, Red Bull, okay, and this world, what makes everything turn, okay, has to do basically with red. Except when it's money, it's in the red. And when it's in the black, it's the world. It's actually the way it is. So this whole world is circumferenced by a red spirit that surrounds everything. If you eat that red spirit before the other colors, it takes you out of life. So when you eat your Smarties, you better eat that red one last. You know what I'm saying? All these sayings are based on the creation of the world. I know about this because I understand pieces and parts of the way I think the world was created. And since my thinking has followed that pattern, I seem to be like coming onto a highway now, joining into the other world, because I'm not scared. Oh my God, I'm in another world. Oh. No, I was scared before in this world. Now that I'm sharing, is it wrong to share? I'm being shared with, and I'm sharing too. It's my heart's desire. It's all extreme, from one way or the other. So when you eat your Smarties, do you eat the red ones last? Do you know why the Canadians won 24 Stanley Cups? Do you know why it's the determination? Detroit means king. Detroit. Michigan, hot dog, Red Spirit, the red hot dog, Red Spirit of Detroit. That's why Detroit was pretty good in the 60s. Don't forget, the spirit of 76 and 67 is a representation of the creation of a tic-tac-toe board inside a dice cube in which the bottom of the cube is open, okay, but the rest of it is closed, okay. The tails are in at the bottom. Plus add the winning lines down and across. Forget about the X's, okay? Don't add those on yet. So when you do all that, you get 7 and 6. Now when you put the cross my heart, okay, it doesn't go anywhere. So it automatically becomes 7 lines by 6 lines by 2 crosses. But it's not actually out that, because there's a top and a bottom line, there's an in and an outside line, but the game that's played, the winning lines actually in the game, without cross my heart, is 3 and 3. And that's it. Then it all starts. Now you do something in your life. Eat the red ones last. 762. And 7286 is my number. And the reason we don't mention the 8, because it's the 6 with the cross, okay, over the 6, connecting everything, that automatically, once you have the 2 and the 6, you have the 8 right there. 2 plus 6 is 8. That's fine. 2 minus 6 is 4. Those are the 4 corners of God's kingdom. So once you're inside God's kingdom, regardless of who and what you are at the time, you are. And that's why they have URANTIA, the ranch of the ants, of the mighty ants, who could build those pyramids that were little tiny midgets, and they brought this rock because they stood in the proper position, and the elevation and angles on it are perfect. Perfect. Perfect 10 equals X, because man is X. Anyways, tomorrow I'm going to have a detailed thing. I'm doing a count on the telephone dial tomorrow, adding in a new university. The bottom line, okay, are the line of expression, the star key, the O, and the pound key. I found a new expression for it, and I'm going to be working on that tomorrow. I bid you all a good night, and I don't bid anything else, because I don't bid on anything. I don't need a bid. Higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower. And Price is Right. At the end, they all go home, most of them with nothing, and the government collects the tax, and they got to pay it, and they receive and they give. They become like Santa Claus. I mean, it's a good system, 100%. If you get, you get, you have to give. And I think that's a really good system. But when it comes to taking a chance, I think if you get it, it's all your chance. And that's what they give us here in Canada. In Quebec, they took something away from us. I'm not quite sure if it's all of Canada. I don't understand the law. I don't know really much about the law. It's a little bitty law. But the only oil that no one will ever take away from me is my pen. And the only blue that people will never take away from me, and yellow, is the energy that runs through my computer and sends out the message. Underground, where the rats are. My message is being passed by the rats. And the rats in French are called kings of the underground. They pass my message wherever they go. So Bell Canada, I stand also on guard for the name, because the name is the place to go, because in the Matrix it was only under the ground. And when you saw they were passing in tunnels, that was a tunnel of Urantia. Urantia also, okay, has a ranch around your whole system. You're in a system, okay, there's a system in a system in a system. And depending what part you're in, you may be the same person who you are and end up being Eno or Zeno or whatever his name was. What's his name? He was good. He was good. That was good. I can see all of that now. It's pretty cool. Crazy world. Crazy world, my friends. When we start passing through electrical lines and talking with our computers, and hey man, the evolution. Be well. Have a good night. 7286 Raphael. This is the story about Man 6.